They set off in search for possibilities. 4 modest sisters, each flashing their smiles with simplistic elegance, like Nordic royalty, possessing tales of unbridled dangers, realized dreams, and conquered fears. Deep-rooted in the sacred, these sisters fell under the spell of impulse, with an urge to soar beyond. Like a vapor, the bohemian air bewitched these daughters of the stars, misty-like into the pale Slavic light, and landed in Prague, a place where the glories of an ancient world are etched in stone and bronze. They wandered into another realm where the dead live forever, and where old village rhythms drift by slow and sweet. In fairy tale mode, their footsteps inched ever so softly to Prague's front door. There they were warmly received, like an unbodied joy whose race has just begun. A maze of cobble-set lanes, Old Town is a paradise for shattered dreams and stifled tears. Just a few steps in, the sisters stumbled across houses huddled together, with tile roofs the color of honey, and ancient chapels where the drums of time have rolled and ceased. Their big sis, poised with experience and promise, unwrapped the mysteries for her adoring kid sisters. Having a taste for the fruit of knowledge, they laid claim to her shadow and sat at her feet, and with the wave of her wand, they swallowed her stories whole and floated away. Prague's eye-popping landscapes of deathless beauty shined like a beacon, so the band of sisters, faces dimpled and dear, let their spirits rip. With wobbly legs and hungry eyes trimmed with soft, graceful lines, ambushed the web of ancient passages flanked by 1,000-year-old buildings. They surrendered to the brick alley's lure and enticement that were laid out long before Columbus ever set sail. Weather-stained gargoyles crept from the shadows and spoke tales from the Book of the Dead. The gathering darkness and weary strides signaled the end of a day, but at night, all was forgotten when the lamplight cast its curse on these maidens, roaming aimlessly among the storybook pages too deep for words. Like thunderbolts from heaven, the dream reflected in their eyes as they walked with the fluidity of unfurling silk. Prague Castle is perhaps the most recognized symbol in all of Prague, with its muscular belfries and soaring views. It's no wonder the Czech capital acquired the nickname, the Golden City of 100 Spires. This fairy tale fortress is a showplace of Parisian slow magic with spooky stories, voodoo, and charm. With the poise of a dancer, their Scandinavian matron stood thin, cool, and elegant, looming high above the Vltava's left bank. Easy as a poet's dream, they listened intently to her thoughts, whose very sweetness yielded proof that she was born for immortality. Jewels fell from her lips in the calm Czechian air, and in return, the pulses of her Nordic entourage fluttered like doves. Their graceful chatter was music to their footsteps, walking in splendor, wearing their smiles regal yet, like rich and kingly capes, quivering on a faint wind at twilight. The age-old Charles Bridge is far and away the most popular bridge in Prague, if not all of Europe. It's unmissable. While there, you'll notice your gaze rising inch by inch to graceful domes and flowing spires, while haunted by lost empires. There's a medieval vibe that plays on emotions in a similar way an evening breeze may tease a candle flame. Nonetheless, with faces paled with bliss, the girls found that drifting lonely as clouds was the way to go, dipping into churches and shops, relaxing on street benches, or just watching the sunlight dance off the Vltava River. They were out gathering up the undiscovered universe like gems in a jasper cup, holding on to each memory like a warm blanket. Hopeful as the break of day, these sisters were in the moment, on this mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam, slipping away like a vision in the morning air. Prague's cathedrals are breathtaking. Their paintings come to life. It's as if the fabric of time and space opened to a symphony of stone. A breath of mystique makes itself felt, like a chill or sudden gust from some strange appeal. Gasp and ahs could be heard, and one could fantasize at the notion of so much history and intrigue. Angels guarded the Nordic moors as they drifted into another world. The sight itself stirred a sensation as they drew inward. Their voices sank to a muffled murmur as a mighty stillness swept across the inner sanctum in each cathedral. Something divine seemed to cling around these sisters like some subtle vapor. Here they were, 4 grown women, away from it all, combating the devil with thunder, while dispensing their own elite puddle of light. Though they knew it not, their soft flare was as lovely as jeweled butterflies, pollinating every detail of life. Just the strength of their shadows alone was a dusting of magical power. I tell you, I was there. Even if I were blind in my heart, I would still see the beauty that burns deep within this society of sisters. Prague is an historical wonderland. Here, water still quietly purrs in fountains and streams. People pass on the street, glad of the shining sapphire sky. Romantic riverside terraces echo with cloak and dagger. Lovers cower in the shade of old trees with thick, twisted trunks. And heaven? Well, it's just one star away along the golden road of 100 spires. As you walk the streets, shoulder to shoulder with locals, and yes, with tourists, what you will see, hear, taste, and participate in is nothing less and nothing more than the simple magic from which countries like ours were born, and where human experiences, painful or otherwise, celebrate the reality of God's divine gift of the essence of life.